Welcome to Macmo Academy. In this video, we will understand that how to apply factor theorem to factorize a cubic polynomial, and in the second part we will understand that how to find the zeros of a polynomial by using factor theorem. So to understand it, with reference to our previous video of same series, we have understood remainder theorem, and in remainder theorem we have seen that if we say there is a polynomial and we divide the polynomial, let's say by this. So what we do to find the remainder, we put x is equals to 1 in place of x in this polynomial and we get the remainder, which we say like this, that the remainder will be p of 1, because we have put the value of x1 in place of x in this particular polynomial. So if we generalize it, and if we will write it like this, that if for any polynomial, if there is a divisor which is x minus a or x plus a, so we will say p of a will be the remainder. So it means that if this particular remainder will be equal to 0, so as you know that when you divide two things and the remainder is 0, what is this thing showing to us? That for example, if we divide 15 by 5, answer will be 3, quotient will be 3, but the remainder will be 0. It shows us that this 5 is actually the factor of 15. So similarly over here in this factor theorem as well, we say that for example, if in this case after putting the value of x equals to 1 we get the remainder 0, we will say that x minus 1 is the factor of it. But this is the only case when this will happen, that the remainder will be 0. So in this video we will understand that how to use this particular theorem to factorize a cubic polynomial. So let's take an example. Alright, so if we have an example, in the question it is written factorize polynomial x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6. So it is a cubic polynomial because the degree of the polynomial is 3. So it is a cubic polynomial. So to factorize it, what we need to do after writing the polynomial, we need to write its possible roots. Possible root means that the values of x that will make this particular polynomial 0. So these things are called the possible roots. So how will we find the possible roots? For that we need to see the constant number. Over here constant number is 6. So what are the factors of 6? The factors of 6 are plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 and plus minus 6. So it's a trial method and we need to put the values one by one to get the factor of it. For example, if I put the value of x1 over here, and in case if we will get the answer 0, it means that by putting the value of x1 we get the 0, so x minus 1 is the factor of it. So that's how we will apply the factor theorem. So let's start it. Let's put the value of x is equals to 1 first in this particular polynomial. But if we will not get 0 after putting the value of x equals to 1, then we will try minus 1, then maybe minus 2 or plus 2. That's how we will proceed. But let's check it. For example, in place of x, if we will put 1, let's solve it. So after solving it, we will get 1 cube is 1, 1 square is 1, so minus 6, plus 11, minus 6. Now let's solve it. We will get minus 6 minus 12, and 11 plus 1 12, so 12 minus 12. Wow, we are getting 0 in the first attempt. So that's good luck that we are getting this particular thing in the first attempt. Sometimes it happened that we put the value 1, we are not getting 0, so we put minus 1, then we will try. If not happening, then we will try plus 2 or maybe minus 2. That's how it works. So right now we are getting remainder 0 when we put the x equals to 1. So it shows us that x minus 1 is a factor. So what does it mean? Is it factorized? No. as you know that the cubic polynomial, the highest degree or the highest power of the polynomial is 3, so we should have 3 factors of it. Right now we have got only one factor, so now there are 2 methods after it. First method is similar to this thing, so I'm not showing you this one because now you know how to put the values, so I will show you the alternate way of doing it. The first way is that as you have put the value 1 over here and you get this factor, now you can put -1 and maybe you will get 0 again, so you will say that if by putting -1 you will get 0, so x plus 1 will be the factor. But if that will not be the case, then you will put +2, then you will try -2, and that's how you will find all the 3 factors of this particular polynomial. But right now I am not showing you this particular method, I will tell you the second method. In the second method or the alternate method, what we can do, we can divide this particular quotient polynomial that is in the quotient by this factor, and whatever the quotient we will get, it will be also the factor of it. How? As you know that if we say 3 multiplied by 5 is 15, so what does it show? That when they both are the factors of 15, for example you can say 15 upon 5 is equals to 3. So that's what we will do. We have already know one factor of this particular polynomial, so by dividing it we will get the other factors of it. As I told you that there should be 3 factors of it as it is a cubic polynomial. So let's understand that how will we do that. So for doing this particular thing, you must remember the division of the polynomial. So what will we do? We will divide this polynomial by the factor that we got in the first step. So this is the method that we will do. So first of all, as you know, we need to cancel out this x cube, so we should multiply this x by x square, so we will get x cube over here, and we also multiply this -1 this x square, so we will get -x square. Change the signs, this will cancel, and over here we will get -6x square plus x square minus 5x square plus 11x minus 6. Now we will put, so now we need to cancel out minus 5x square by using x. So what should we do? We should write in the quotient minus 5x, and we will multiply x minus 1 by minus 5x, so we will get minus 5x square and minus minus plus 5x. Again changing the sign, cancel out, and we will get 11 minus 5, 6x minus 6. Now again we will try to cancel 6x, so already x written over here, so we will write only plus 6 over here. So 6 multiplied by x, 6x, and minus 1 multiplied by plus 6 will give you minus 6. Changing the sign will cancel all this, it means no remainder left. So this particular factor or quotient is also the factor of this particular polynomial. But wait, over here, this particular factor which we got in the quotient is actually in the quadratic form, so we need to do further factorization of it to get the final 3 factors of this particular cubic polynomial. So let's do the middle term breaking over here to get the other the 2 factors that we will get from here. So it is x square minus 5x plus 6. So what will we get by doing middle term breaking? The product of the first term and the last term is 6, and in the middle term it is written minus 5. So what we can do, we can multiply minus 5 by 1, or maybe 2 multiplied by 3. These are the 2 possibilities. So what should we take? As we know that if we will do 5 and 1, we will not get minus 5 over here, or there is also the factor of it 6 into 1. So how will we get 6 and 1? 6 minus 1 is 5, but we will take bigger number sign as negative, as we will need minus 5x over here. Now take out the common, so x is common over here, inside it will come x minus 6. and 1 is common over here. So plus 1 will come over here, and inside we will get x plus 6. But wait a minute, we are not getting the correct factor over here because these two brackets are not coming common. So we have done it correctly. We are getting the middle term same, minus 6 plus 1 minus 5. But over here we need to check one more condition, as we have already discussed in the middle term breaking factorization, that their product should also satisfy the product of the first term and the last term, which is not satisfying over here. So it is not necessary that every time the factors that we are taking will satisfy both conditions. So instead of minus 6 and 1, we will take the other pair which is 2 and 3. How? X square minus 2x minus 3x plus 6. So now we can do it. It is also satisfying minus 3 minus 2 minus 5x, and by the product of it you will get 6x square as minus is plus. So we will get, by taking out common, x is common, inside it will come x minus 2. Over here minus 3 is common, inside it will come x minus 2. So the factors of it are x minus 2 and x minus 3, and over here we already have one factor of it, x minus 1. So all the three factors of this polynomial are x minus 1, x minus 2 and x minus 3. And again, if you want to check your solution is correct, so what you can do, you can multiply these three factors, you will get this particular polynomial again after expansion. So this is how we apply factor theorem to factorize a cubic polynomial. Let's quickly recall it. First of all, you need to see the constant number in the polynomial of the question, and then you need to write their factors. These are the possible roots. All will not be the root, but the roots will come from here, the factors of the constant number, and then you will try one by one. Luckily in this question we got in the first attempt the factor of it, and then I did not continue with the same method, although we can continue it with the same method as well, trial hit method, that we can put the value one by one and we will get the answer of it. As you can see over here, if we will put 2 over here, we will get again 0 and x minus 2 will be the factor. If we will put 3 over here in place of x, we will get 0 remainder and x minus 3 will be the factor. But I have shown you the alternate method, that is by division, and after doing division you need to factorize the quotient to get the final factors of this particular cubic polynomial. So now let's understand that how to find the zeros of a polynomial. Alright everyone, so after understanding that how to do factorization of a cubic polynomial, now we will talk about zeros of a polynomial. So zeros of a polynomial is not a new thing, it's very easy. In the previous question in which we have done factorization of a cubic polynomial, we got the answer or the factors of the given polynomial was x minus 1, x minus 2 and x minus 3. So now by using these factors of the given polynomial, we can find the zeros of the same polynomial. How? We need to equate all the factors equal to 0. For example, there are 3 factors, x minus 1, x minus 2 and x minus 3. So when we will do like this, what will be the value of x? 1. Similarly for this, we will get the value of x 2. Similarly for the last one, x minus 3 equals to 0 and we will get x equals to 0. So these values 1, 2 and 3 are called zeros of polynomial. So this is not a new thing, this is not a very different thing to understand. Whatever we are getting after factorization, actually those values of x are called as zeros of a polynomial, which we were saying previously as roots or answers. So zeros of a polynomial are also the same thing. For example, if we say there is a factor and we say that the zero of the polynomial is 2. For example, there is a factor 2x cube minus 3x square. So there is a polynomial plus x minus 1. and if we say that 4 is fact 0 of this polynomial, so what does it mean if the polynomial is 2x cube minus 3x square plus x minus 1 and we say 4 is 0 of p of x? It means that by putting the value of x 4 we will get the remainder 0, which shows that x minus 4 is the factor of this polynomial if it will give us 0. So this is how the questions could be asked in the exam. So finally we can say that in a cubic polynomial we will get total 3 factors, and there are 3 zeros of a cubic polynomial. They could be repeated as well. For example, you are getting the factors x minus 1 square and x plus 2. This could be the case, but actually they are the repeated factors, that's fine, but actually there are 3 zeros of this polynomial and 3 factors, in which 2 factors, or you can say 2 zeros, are repeating. So this is how we apply factor theorem to factorize a cubic polynomial and to find the zeros of a polynomial. And remember, if you need to find the zeros of a polynomial, you need to apply the whole same method that we do for the factorization of a cubic polynomial. So this is it from this video. In the next video we will understand that how to apply remainder and factor theorem to solve the questions in or the variety of questions in which there will be unknown within the polynomial. So wait for that video, and hopefully you understood this video and this concept. For any query you can ask us in the comment, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.